So that whole problem of watching other people play reared its head, and I had to stop mid someone else's video because they were about to get into something I haven't done yet, and this here, I think it's this, by the way. I think this is the... Oh. I think this is the geothermal plant. Watching Echo Ridge, he's like, oh, I'm gonna go check this out. And I'm like, damn it, I haven't been there yet. Now I gotta go do all of that. So, my first problem is the air is a little thick down here. Mostly there's not really air. That's gonna need, yeah. Fortunately, I have air now. We have canned air. We have the world's worst electrolyzer and hydrogen setup. The place is phenomenally well oxygenated. We gotta wear suits to come in here. I intend to hew a bunch of this out. This comes out at, by the time it gets down here, it's kind of cold, but that's because I drained a bunch of it and had to warm up the whole area. The not quite industrial brick. Still a little cold, but it's getting there. This trick here is working. Our air is coming out at a balmy -23, so trying to counteract some of the heat we're generating in here. I thought I shut you off. I don't want you anymore. Let's get rid of this. I don't need you anymore. Let's uproot these. Clean this up. That was an emergency setup. There's still a little bit of stank air kicking around. No germs though, so we're okay on that one. Food! Whoa! Once we got dealt with the air problem... Oh wow, we have a bunch of idle people kicking around. I might have a bit too much food right now. Several thousand calories of pike apple skewers just calmly sitting on the ground. A little bit of heat here. Probably the heat's generated by this guy. That... I could pause getting food for a while and probably be okay. What I probably ought to do is just raise more Flox. We got in here storing... Oh, yeah, I never did change that, did I? Let's change that to 8, just in case. Gotta throw a bunch more Flox in there. Still gotta put, some kind of shipping in there to kick the eggs out so they stop getting cranky. I didn't anticipate them all being... I guess I did a bunch of stuff and I had this, then just kind of stopped. So I need a place for them to... Well, that's unfortunate there. Yeah, I'll deal with it. Need a nice warm spot, and the fancy bedrooms are... These don't need to be insulated tiles, do they? I can recover a bit by doing that. These don't need to be insulated tiles. The fancy bedrooms are 24, minimum 24, minimum height 4. Private bedroom, minimum size 24, height 4 tiles. Plus 2 decor items, has back wall tiles. So, I know these things make nectar. Once they have some light. Those things make nectar, and nectar you can turn into plastic. Plastic gives you the fancy beds. Fancy beds give you a +3 to morale? Private bedroom, +3 morale. Plus, I can warm this place up. And then I won't have to deal with the cold sleeping quarters problem. And I could take down these wood heaters. I mean, they're neat. They're kind of at the point where I don't need them. And I'm having an issue is that if I try to play this the same way I normally would, that's going to cause problems because your first instinct playing this game is to just hew out absolutely everything because you want all that material and all that space to work. But all this material is what's is helping to maintain temperature, right? This is all this cold here is absorbing heat, which you won't be able to do forever, but it will do for a long time, given how much is there. I still gotta get up here. But I should. I'm gonna take the long route to get there. This heat isn't bad, that heat, this is nice and cold. I was kind of planning on losing probably this biome as well. This and that, because I can hew all that out. Store a bunch of the salt water and get a brick going. So let's get... I do... But let's not venture into that biome. I want to keep that nice and... This is all nice and warm down here. It's got a bunch of arbor trees, more wood. Excellent for it. There should be pips. Should be... mealwood. What else comes in this biome? This is going to be a bit of a problem. This 1,000 degrees worth of stuff. I could theoretically just fill it with water. It'll off-gas a bunch of steam and that'll be the end of it. That's going to require a bunch of radiation. Let's go find out what this is. This will also give me a bit more of an idea what's going on under here. I don't know how big this biome is. This seems awfully large. Like I took frozen core, which means somewhere under this there's a whole bunch of ice. But if I have a whole layer of warm, I mean that's neat in that, hey look, I've actually got liquid water somewhere. Why are you guys bald? Why are you bald? Well, there it is. I'm gonna come over here and do something. And spectate this stuff? Computer podium. New database. Okay. Blah blah, progressing as internet. Coming in hot as we used to say. Anyway. 12 tons of brackish aquifer water coated to 65 degrees. Bunch of words. Some more words. Long story short, they broke something. Kind of like always, right? Oh, that's just... dang it, that's just the observation deck. Go down here and do this. Spec that. Service cart. Some reason has a diskette. Spec that for diskette. I can't inspect the tool rack. Geothermal heat pump. Abandoned geothermal power plants have been discovered. Multiple buildings. Oh, that's even greater. That's pulling trends so deeply in the terrain that's much beyond reach. This one, okay, words. Okay, so what's here? Reconnect this building's steel plumbing system. Steel, that's unfortunate. Geovent, geovent, geovent. There's plumbing in here? Plumbing overlay. I see no plumbing. Oh. Geovent. It's in a vacuum. Surrounded by obsidians. That's going to be inside of something. None of you guys have any plumbing. Or ventilation. Power. Emits high temperature materials leave from the pump. Blocked vents can be cleared using liquids hot enough to melt lead. Ooh boy, that's... Oh, what's lead's melting point? Broken fire extinguisher. Well, that's nice. Clearly that helped a lot. Did that? Oh, it was my digging through that exposed all of this. We have pips. Oxyferns, arbitries. Nothing new there. Still don't know what that is. Biome's kind of big, but not super. There's our super cold. Super cold down there. You're 30-some degrees. Spindly grub fruit. The challenge is going to be keeping this place cold enough to keep some of the stuff from breaking. Like... So here's the problem. In order to play with all the DLC, you have to actively work against what you would normally do. I can get to this point, and then it's like, oh what, I can do what now? Oh, I have arbitries. As soon as I have a source of polluted water, I can just make ethanol and not care about cooling. 3 of them. Right here's sulfur. There'll be some sweetles in here. Grow a spindly grub fruit. If there's a sulfur volcano on here or one of the next places, I can do it there too. Yeah, this is... I want to keep as much of this around as I can, but... You'd have to put in so much work. So is the work worth it? Because is it really worth it to keep all this stuff around just so you can have tallow to make into pemmican? Or pike apple fruits so you can... Well, these guys can be shorn for wood. So let's see, they turn phosphorite into wood and dirt, which isn't bad. I have a source of phosphorite, these chunks of poo that somehow have no germs on them. But to make the poo, I gotta make ethanol, and then there's the big cycle. Whereas I could just make ethanol. Or power. It seems it's not quite as... It doesn't mesh quite as nicely as I want it to. You know? Like... Once you get a hold of mealwood, I can just... eat mealwood. Yeah, okay, it's terrible for you. Or I could ranch pips. Just use pips to... Natural plant arbitries. Lots of them. Problem solved. Eat pips. Cutest meal you ever eat. These guys... Yeah, they make half of what you want, but then you have to feed their plant to get a bunch. I don't know what the livable range is on a pip. Pip, what's your livable range? Does it tell me? Body temperature, mood, isled. Properties, don't tell me. I'm fairly certain their livable range is a lot higher. I do have liquid water though. Without even having to work for it. I'm gonna beat up on things and explore a bit more. It's all nice and warm down here. That's a problem because that means that that's a whole bunch of thermal dirt and aluminium. It's cool. It's got some copper. I guess I could hew those out and then cool the material. I don't have to worry quite so much. Pile of dirt. A bunch of... If I gouge these out, not completely, because I'd like to wild plant a bunch of arbor trees, which won't be difficult as long as like the one pip doesn't die. Oh no, there's a few more. If I play it smart, I can do that. I have access to some warm, I guess. As long as I liquid walk it off. That's not difficult at all. I mean, we've got water. We've got liquids we can liquid walk with that don't freeze. Right? We've got... Like, yeah, okay, that's shockingly cold. There's that. That's a moderate temperature liquid walk that doesn't have to worry about things. I just have to walk, vacuum, walk like I did over here. I'll be back in a little while once I figure out exactly what I'm going to do. You know, I can't not take this guy. A farming suit-wearing rancher. I don't care about the plant murderer part. But a suit-wearing rancher's, I can't not take that. Like, at some point, I will have to raise some kind of animal in a temperature or environment that a mask doesn't help enough. I'm not sure what yet. But I'm sure I'll find out eventually. It's okay, it's just mercury. You'll be fine. Never in the history of humanity has mercury caused any kind of problem. Oh wow, that was quick. Oh, because it's set up, that's why. Where are you going? I thought I disconnected you. Are you really going all the way to the end of that line? Just to there. Okay, well, let's move that along. Oh, there's not much come out of there. That thing just straight up broke, didn't it? I did not expect that to have cold problems. It just straight up busted. I'm gonna admit, heat damage I'm used to. Cold damage, no. Excuse me. Would you please shut up? I'm talking here. Kinda changed how these guys want to fit into things. That or I just don't know what I'm doing. And definitely, yeah, I'm not gonna make it out of mercury. No chance I'm making that out of mercury. I don't know what I'm doing. It should be fairly obvious. Sure, I'm not making that out of mercury either. There we go. Gotta keep clearing the eggs out of this place somehow, right? And since they haven't figured out how to implement the unfortunate effects of mercury on the human body, not that they care, you can mine lead anyway. Make all kinds of things out of lead. Make bathrooms out of lead. Oh no. You can make radiant pipes out of lead. Lead pipes have never caused any harm ever in the history of... Yeah. Okay, sure. So, I know that I need a place to put a couple incubators. Well, incubators cause heat, which means I have to walk... I have to make another spot where I can sequester a bunch of heat, but I don't want it so far away. Well, if since I gotta come over here anyway, I might as well expose this vacillator and see what else is in here. I'm used to heat management, just not to this extent, you know? Like, I'm not used to having to keep... I'm used to keeping places cool because they need a certain temperature range. Not like keeping the whole base cool. This is, what do we got here? Rummage inspect. Warm suits. I just made those for somebody. The new dupe needed one. And And I made her one, and I could have made a suit. Dang. Oh well, I'm up 2 for the next couple loops, I guess. I've been looking around the map. I'm not seeing much else for geysers. This guy over here turned out to be, saltwater geyser. I'm not sure where this brine came from. Oh, probably from here. There's probably brine ice here. I opened it up and it fell. And it warmed up. So I have the star map. What does it say? Oh wow, that's it. Well, we have a cool steam vent to find yet. So our problems is hot, 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 cold. Cold and unfortunately placed. So yes, we could tap into that to make oxalate, which if... Okay, here's the problem. I like the Blamus. They're cute. Cute as hell. I think it wants 15 kilo of ethanol per cycle. The amount of... So the cycle is you feed... you use phosphorite to grow pike apples. You feed the pike apples to the Flox. The Flox make wood, which you turn into ethanol, which you use to grow squash, which you use to feed the Blamus. So you can get the phosphorite. It's an unfortunate circle. The other option are these bonbon trees. Now, spigot seals are cute. Granted, as a Canadian, you know what I want done to them? Because it's a seal. Tallow is nice. Pemmican lasts forever, that's great. Nectar can be turned into... nectar and steam into sucrose. Just sucrose. Sucrose. Mud. Sucrose and grapefruit. So literally the only reason you're feeding bonbon trees like snow, which I haven't found a way to make snow yet. There's no way to make snow. So you have to raise layers, have them get snow bombarded, and pick up my priorities button. Bombard them with snow, let the meteors come down, and grow these things in the most inconvenient way possible. So you can have seals drink the nectar to make ethanol. This is not a cycle I would reasonably work on, given the options. It just isn't. It's like playing modded Minecraft. Like, use this mod to do X, Y, and Z. Use this to make that, and that to make this, and this to make this, and that to make that. We're like, no, this other mod's in the game, I can do that in one step. It's a neat idea, but unless you absolutely force us to do it, Clay, we're not gonna. We're gonna optimize the fun out of the game. You know exactly what kind of audience you're playing to. So now I gotta figure out how to make enough dang ethanol. I need to spend ethanol to grow plume squash, to feed mammoths, so I can get the suits I need to do other stuff. Or I find out what's on the other side of this teleporter. which I have waited until now because copper, ice, slime, sulfur. Yep, it's the second meteor you always get. But liquid sulfur, grub fruit, minor volcanoes are okay once you have steel. Vent is useless. Oil. Got all the things you expect here. This makes the sandstone biome is going to get you the hatch. There's going to be a hatch there. And the moment you go here, you solve most of your problems. So, the challenge, I'm guessing, challenge behind this one is to do the heat pump. I don't know. Steel plumbing system. I don't know what it wants. Reconnect geothermal heat pump. Probably just someone comes in here and probably plays with it. Operate the plant, clear the vents. So let's see what happens here before. We'll finish this before I go. Who's got the errand? No pending deliveries. Found it. I don't know how you... That one's blocked. Liquid's hot enough to melt lead. So I need something that's 300 and some odd degrees to get this mammoth poo out of there. How do I connect you? Okay, 1200 steel. Arg. So 1200 steel is the first part. We've got plenty of iron ore. I've been getting coal. I have 12 tons of coal from the printing pod, which is cheating. I understand. Fully understand it's cheating. However, that's just a time saver because there's coal over here. That's going to have coal. In the sandstone biomes, going to have some coal and the ability to make coal because I'm going to find a hatch. I haven't seen any other way. Are there coal deposits here anywhere? No coal. No coal. Yes, unless I'm not seeing something, you would have to go to the next asteroid to get coal anyway, so all I've done is just save myself some time. Why is that 50 degrees? Oh, there's probably something frickin' down here. I was just a biome unto itself. Bet you that. Let's find out. Next episode. We'll find out in the future, and I will see you then. Once I get done being mad at what's in front of me.